This is the video demonstration for the Anglerfish 30 watt LED light. We make this LED light for many different applications, mostly for the subsea industry. This particular light is able to output 5,000 lumens and can draw about 30 watts of power. We manufacture our own COB LEDs, and we're able to provide this particular light in terms of different color temperatures and variety of colors, such as red color. We also have the color mixing COB LEDs, where the light is able to have variation in color temperature if that's required. The cup is very high quality, and it can put out a CRI value of 97 or higher. The housing is made out of anodized aluminum 7075 T6. It features zinc anodes on both halves for prolonged exposure to salt water and preventing corrosion. We have stainless steel hatches for easy opening and closing of the housing. The light itself takes 4 Sony style NFP 750 batteries. These batteries can be purchased with a power rating of up to 48 watt hour. This one in particular that I'm holding in my hand is actually 41 watt hours, but there are higher capacity batteries available from different manufacturers, and we recommend you use the highest capacity available to get the prolonged burn time. With the highest capacity batteries that you can find, this light will provide 7.5 to 5 hours of burn time. The housing itself, it's all self-contained. The batteries will be mounted inside of the housing, and the light can be turned on using a magnet. This magnet is provided, and there's no buttons or anything on the outside of the housing that would cause any sort of leaks or anything like that. To turn the light on, you simply place the magnet in this position here, in this key, and hold it for 1 second, and the light should turn on. To turn off the light, you perform the same operation. To open up the housing, you can unlock the latches. We recommend, while you unlock the latches, to hold your hand onto the lid, because the air pressure inside the housing is trying to open up the lid, and that may make it more difficult to get the latches to come out of their position. Once that's done, you can let go, and you can see that the lid will pop up. We recommend, when you're installing the batteries and working on the light, that you work in a clean area and utilize a rubber mat to prevent damage to the housing itself. This is the battery plate that holds 4 of the batteries. You want to make sure that when you do install these batteries, all these batteries have the same capacity and are charged to the same level. To install the battery, you simply place the battery into the battery holder. After the module is completed, by installing the batteries into their position, you can slide the battery plate into the housing, making sure that the holes on the battery plate line up with the dowel pins inside the housing. This particular battery plate and PCB board on the light are designed in such a way that you can position this battery plate in any orientation, this way or this way, and the polarities will always line up. When you install the battery into the light, you may notice that the LED lights will turn on momentarily, and then the light will actually go into sleep mode and will turn off automatically. I will just demonstrate this by inserting the battery plate into the housing in this direction, so you guys can see that the light will turn on momentarily. It's actually not ideal to place the battery plate in this orientation. Typically you want to place it this way, but I just want to demonstrate that the light does turn on. So as you slide the battery into place, you may see that the light will turn on momentarily and turn off. As you can see, there was a flash of light and the light turned on momentarily. Avoid pulling in and out the battery plate several times, because there's a very high current that is discharged through the driver, and you don't want that to happen multiple times. Now that the battery module is in place, we can place the lid back on. Before you place the lid back on, you want to make sure you examine the O-ring here. There are two O-rings on the housing here. You got the radio O-ring that is here. It's held with a dovetail groove. You want to examine that O-ring and run your finger over it to make sure there's no hair, dust, or debris. And there's also an O-ring on this half of the housing, and you want to examine this O-ring and make sure that there's no residue, dust, or anything like that on it. And you want to lubricate this O-ring often, because it would make it easier for the housing to close properly. To close the housing, you simply place the lid on top of the bottom half, and you want to get the latches started. So what you need to do is you need to push with your hands down, get the latches in place. Once they're in place, you make sure that the lid is lined up, and you slowly close the lid. Now this light is ready for deployment. You can mount this on your ROV or on your bait trap, or utilize it for any sort of subsea application. To turn on the light, you use the provided magnet. The magnet has to be pointing in this direction. You see this flat side is pointing this way. You want to insert that into the key, and it will turn on. Once it's on, you can leave it like this. You want to make sure that the light does not stay on for more than 3 to 4 minutes above water, especially in hot temperature, because of the fact that this particular LED is generating a lot of heat, and that heat needs to be dissipated inside of the water. The housing itself has a lot of mass, and the aluminum is able to dissipate a lot of that heat, but it's always good to deploy this right away and only turn the light on before or prior to deployment. To turn off the light, again, you can place the magnet into the key area and it will turn off, and you can remove it. You repeat this process multiple times to get a feel for it before you deploy this light in the field. This concludes the demonstration on the Anglerfish LED light.